Welcome back everyone. As most of you know, the iPhone 12 Pro Max was an iPhone that Apple released last year, and I was really happy about it. I thought that phone brought a lot to the table, but it wasn't really a crazy big upgrade from the 11 Pro Max, and it still is kind of a weird phone because Apple did a great job with the 13 Pro Max, so it kind of made the 12 Pro Max feel a little bit outdated already, which is kind of sad. But I will tell you, after comparing the 12 Pro Max and the 13 Pro Max, and the 12 Pro Max being on iOS 15, I'll tell you, it definitely needs some improvement, but it's definitely a really good phone still. So the two things that pretty much changed with this phone, well, actually three things. One, Apple released the new iPhones. So the iPhone 13s came out last month and a half ago, but also Apple stopped selling the 12 Pro Max brand new. So you can't really buy this thing brand new from Apple. I'm sure they're going to be available in the certified refurbished market and used market, but we also got new iOS updates as well for iOS 15. So those three things pretty much changed within the last 2 months, which is pretty crazy. So first of all, starting off with the iPhones not being sold anymore, obviously when Apple releases the new iPhones, they cut out some old ones, and with these Pro Max models, they went from being sold for $1,099, I'm sure they'll probably go down to around $900 to $800 in the used market in the next couple of months, and then from there, they'll get cheaper and cheaper, and I definitely do think this is a pretty solid priced phone. It's definitely expensive, it's definitely not a cheap phone, but I think these iPhones have been holding up their value pretty well, and I think with the chip shortage and everything, I think these phones are probably going to maintain their value, and if not even go up in value a little bit for the next couple of months or even for a year for now, which is pretty crazy. Now the second thing is I compared the iPhone 12 Pro Max against the 13 Pro Max, and there are definitely some pretty big differences. I really like the 13 Pro Max. I think the Pro models this year are really good, and I think going from a 12 Pro Max to the 13 Pro Max is a pretty big upgrade in probably one area, which is the display. Everything else is pretty much okay. I mean, if you're not complaining about the battery, if you're not complaining about the build quality or the performance, then you're really not going to see a big difference if you go to the 13 Pro Max, but you are getting a way better display. You're getting, better battery life and everything like that on the 13 Pro Max. So that's a pretty big thing to keep in mind. But I think with the iPhone 12 Pro Max, it's still a very good phone because it still feels like a very, very premium phone. And I'm very happy with the iPhone 12 Pro Max for sure. Now, on top of that, the performance is still very good, even on iOS 15. As I tested before, and I will probably tell you guys a billion times for this next year, that the iPhone 12 Pro Max is still a very good phone in the performance segment. It still has the same amount of RAM as the 13 Pro Max. It has, to be honest, from my speed tests and everything, it was so similar that it's such a no-brainer to not go to a 12 Pro Max or the 13 Pro Max just based off the performance. But I do think with the iPhone 12 Pro Max, it can handle everything you're going to throw at it, and that's perfectly fine. And on iOS 15, I'll definitely tell you, the stability has been a little shaky, and that's one thing that pretty much happens every single time Apple releases a new iOS version. So again, if you're getting an iOS 15 device with 13 Pro Max, that software is optimized for that phone specifically. With the 12 Pro Max, you have to install it, and it's a little bit of a different experience, so it definitely needs some improvement. But what I'll tell you is that the 12 Pro Max is still a very good phone. I mean, I'm talking it's one of the best phones you could still buy. It's already a year old, so it's gone down in value a little bit. And I'll tell you, if you have a 12 Pro Max, I would highly recommend keeping it. I wouldn't necessarily go to a 13 Pro Max just because of that, but I do think it's a great phone and you can't really go wrong with it for sure. So in terms of that pretty much covers it up. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, let me know in the comment section as well. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.